Look at the picture. See the skull. Visible Frankenstein controls. The Brain Thoughts broadcasting radio. The Frankenstein earphone radio. The latest new skull reforming to contain all Frankenstein controls.
Welcome back, as always, to Frankenstein Control. We were going to have a sponsor tonight. I was going to do a whole thing making fun of those incomprehensible Olympic Toyota commercials that gave us all an infarction from sheer confusion and rage at capitalism.
I got an erection.
Our advertisement was to feature a similarly saccharine scene of a highly accomplished person overcoming their personal or physical disability to succeed against all odds, only for it abruptly to become an Uncle Ben's rice commercial. But then, just, something really inspiring, something really, really, really tugging at the heartstrings, going for that Oscar gold. It's directed by somebody you could tell, didn't get to direct a movie because of the pandemic, so they're trying to make Oscar gold out of a frickin'
Oscar bait commercial.
Yeah,
the way of the future.
Oh God, that's some Black Mirror shit right there.
That's some Brown Mirror.
Brown Mirror. But then one of our friends provided some much-needed context about the Olympic ads that took a lot of the nonsense out of my sales and made them actually seem like something we shouldn't make fun of. So now I'm going to be nice and do nothing.
Okay.
Well, I hope you enjoy the nothing.
We were having fun complaining until you came along.
Frankenstein,
setting us straight with your logic and calm head.
With your logic and reason and smartness and coolness and being a good personness.
Calls for kindness and not ceaseless mockery and bitterness.
Who even are we?
I look in the mirror every day. I look in the mirror and I see Gary Busey. What happens?
I see an aging has-been. And right next to me it's B-Rye, because Scary Busey's in the mirror next to me.
Scary Busey.
Scary Busey.
Speaking of Scary Busey, welcome. Welcome to Frankenstein Control. Nothing but fucking anime girls.
By the way, I watched,
We need to introduce ourselves first.
Yeah.
I was recovering from my own weird head trauma. I'm Taylor, I think. In front of me is Ada.
I was once known as Ada, but my true form is that of Kagome from the show Inuyasha.
You do trip over roots a lot.
Yeah.
Requiring us to save you at inopportune times.
And there was that time I fell into feudal Japan and fell in love with a dog demon.
So that's how you got Jen.
Do you think he has a dog penis?
I don't want to think about that.
Does Kagome take the knot?
Oh, why did you have to say that?
And to the left of me, as always, is not Rye.
I've been told I'm B-Rye. I don't remember anymore. At least that's what my tax returns say.
That's what your B-Rye, your tax attorney is Jockin.
Yeah. I love Jockin. He's actually...
Oh, Mr. B-Rye! You owe $5,000 in taxes.
You sound like Charlie Day.
I was gonna say you're equal parts Charlie Day and your Mark Hamill's Joker,
but like higher pitched.
But higher pitched. You're jokering it up there a little bit. Jackins, I can't do Jackins.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have a funny accent.
I started to.
Yeah, he just goes, "Oh, Master Shishomaru, me lord. He must sounds yeah. What's up, me lord?" He sounds like that. It's hard to not do the accent.
I like to imagine Shishomaru always calls him Jock Itch, and he never corrects him. Sure thing, Jock Itch.
FBM, what was it that FBM said he always used to go? Jockin, I require my balls to be tickled with the feather of an ostrich as I walk constantly. Make it so.
Yes, Master Shishomaru.
Right away, me lord.
I'll do it at once.
We were watching the first episodes of Inuyasha with a friend that we successfully got into the series recently.
I'm wearing headphones. Why am I doing this?
You do a lot of things that I just don't question anymore. But like in Jockin's first appearance with Sesshomaru, like they come
the
up
episode
on,
was called Jock and Awe.
Yeah.
Or Jock and Off.
That's the joke I thought you were making.
No, like Shock and Awe.
Yeah.
But I like Jack and Off better.
He gives
most people enjoy it too.
He gives some Jock and Awe because like it's his first appearance as like Sesshomaru's little toady or whatever. And they came across these frickin' like bandits or those guys sitting around wearing the armor that were the reason I watched the show.
Yeah.
And they're just like, we have a nebulous problem with you, dog man. Let's all attack this dangerous looking protagonist. I'm sure we'll be fine.
We don't cotton to your kinds around here.
Yeah.
These are the kinds we cotton to.
Yeah. And like Sesshomaru straight up doesn't even fight them. He's just like, Jockin, I leave them to you. And Jockin kills them all with his freaking flame staff.
What?
And he kills like 50 dudes.
Jockin can do things?
Yeah. And
I didn't know. I thought he just rolled around and be a giant sentient gummy bear.
It's one of the only times he does anything. But then I was like, I like how I was just like, I turned to listen. I was like, I like how Jockin has kills. Like everybody on this show gets to do a little something from time to time.
How is anybody fucking alive in feudal Japan?
Yeah, really.
There's
weird
fucking
little
demons rolling around on people everywhere. Fucking Jockin can kill 50 guys. What hope does the normal schmuck have in feudal Japan? How did they become Tokyo?
Jockin says, it's a dark joke. I don't know if I should make it. Don't come to feudal Japan tomorrow.
Oh no, Jockin, no.
Don't come to the Sengoku period tomorrow.
The Sengoku period?
That's what it was called, I think.
Sengoku is the fleet admiral.
Is it ever explained why there's like demons and shit in the past but not in the future?
I think it's just meant to imply that a common theme in a lot of anime like that is, and it's sort of the same thing with like Western shit too, where it's like as the world became modernized, we lost our sense of whimsy and bled all the cool shit out of the world.
Yeah.
Like dying of polio at 19.
Yeah, that's super whimsical shit right there. Tell you what,
back in the good old days when you didn't live past 30.
Get everyone around you fucking dying of cholera and you just don't know why.
There was some...
What whimsy?
Some
goblins did it.
Some dumbass thing we were watching recently. I don't remember what it was anymore, but it was something I saw. It was dealing with past live shit.
Oh, no.
And I was like, how come everyone's past life is something cool?
Yeah.
Nobody was ever a peasant boy who shit himself to death.
Yeah.
Like everybody was the Black Prince or something.
Yeah, funny how that works, huh? It's almost as if that kind of shit excels on telling people what they want to hear.
Well, yeah, obviously.
And it creates a confirmation bias in them, so they want to keep hearing that.
Yeah.
And so they'll use any kind of justification to say, no, this is true.
Yeah.
It's almost like that. It's kind of crazy. But just a correlation. And it would just prove that the funny lady in the cardboard box outside our house told me I was a Viking in my last life, and that's pretty rad. So, who am I to doubt?
I know several people who've made anything resembling Vikingness their entire personality.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They saw one too many episodes of History Channel's Vikings, and they go, I want to be dead.
Yes.
I was a mealworm in my past life.
I believe that.
I believe that too. It was a very quick past life.
Yeah, but I was a super good mealworm. So when I got reincarnated, I got bumped all the way up to human.
I don't know. Like, the older I get, the more I think that Buddhism is flawed in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
Or not Buddhism, was it Hinduism?
Hinduism.
It's Hinduism? Okay.
I think Buddhism has the same.
There's a lot of
reincarnating into, like, a human is like sort of like a topper tier. Definitely not the toppest tier. But like, and the older I get, the more I think like, dude, I think humans probably the bottom rung.
Yeah, it sucks.
Humans now,
yeah,
because we're fucked up by capitalism.
Well, yeah,
but back then when we're a little simpler.
We just got done saying people were busy getting fucked up by cholera.
Okay, so from my understanding is that how everyone's like, oh yeah, the average lifespan back then was like 20 years.
Well, that's skewed. That's skewed because there was a lot of infant death.
Everybody died in childbirth.
Mm-hmm.
But if you made it past like 10, you're good. You're going to die at like 70 or 60.
Yeah.
As long as you don't go into war or something, or do some extremely dangerous profession.
or if you live in the Inuyasha universe.
Yeah.
And you get fucking killed by a goblin with a fire stick.
Yeah. That's just Gary Busey. He's a goblin with a fire stick, and he comes to kill you.
How people feel this pain? I got me big old fire stick! I hope you're going to have a good time with the fire!
That was a good Gary Busey impression, and also a good Will Sasso Kenny Rogers impression.
Yeah.
It started out as Will Sasso Kenny Rogers and turned into
all this being said,
Barry Busey.
All this being said, I would not be able to go back. If I'm like transported in the past, I'd be like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah,
fuck this.
Dude, you get me too far from a flush toilet, that's it. We're done. Deal broken.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how fucking awesome this magical world is. I'm not shitting in a hole in the woods.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. It ain't. That's why I don't go camping. Fuck that.
You know what? I think you're right then, because I'm trying to be like, well, if you went this far back, and it's like, no, then you have this to contend with. Yeah. If you're human, it fucking sucks. Like, it sucks to be alive, because no matter what, something is trying to kill you.
Yes, but here's the thing. Why I think humans are at the bottom rung is that we're so smart.
We're aware of it.
We're aware of how shit it is.
Suffering.
Yeah.
If you're a fucking maggot in the ground, you don't care how shit your lot in life is. You just care about, like, this is good feces. Like, that's it. That's all your fucking world is. What a load off!
Yeah,
that's fucking heaven, dude.
So the best thing to be reincarnated as is those cicadas that just came this last summer. Because you're born, you go to sleep for 17 years, you just nap it out, and then you wake up and you fuck and you scream.
Yeah.
And what is there to life that you want more than that, other than to scream and to have sex?
It's pretty good shit.
Those are really my only two goals.
I was nodding in agreement, by the way.
Yes.
You can't pick that up on the mic.
I'll add in a nodding sound effect.
One of those Hanna-Barbera noises. You know the ones.
I do know what you're talking about.
You fucking human liar bird.
He is. He really is.
You're gonna try to do that toilet flush.
The what?
The gross, like, toilet flush part that you were imitating.
I can't do it. That's the best I got so far.
Here's the thing he's trying to imitate for reference. You got it perfectly at one point.
I know.
There was a night where, like, I was just playing Dark Souls on the couch downstairs, and Taylor was hanging out with me just for 30 minutes straight trying to imitate a fart.
Why you gotta call a brother out like that?
It's not a call out. I'm trying to share the mystic adventure,
the magic of living with me,
Taylor.
Of living with the magical lummox,
the
lyrebird lummox.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, I also used to live with both of you, so I know I've seen how you live. I wanted to go back a bit because we were talking about the past times and fantasy and things of that nature. I saw The Green Knight on Friday.
Oh my god!
I didn't realize movies are super weird in the pandemic era. What with streaming and everything like that, there's now very, very little time between when a movie is announced and when it's like out, and it's like it makes it difficult to keep up anymore.
Yeah,
and I remembered very recently seeing a promo for The Green Knight on like Reddit or something. And it was just a movie poster, and I was like, that looks cool and art filmy as fuck.
Well, if it's art filmy, then it doesn't have the common marketing engine that normal, like big movies do. So, like, generally when you hear about it is when it's out.
Yeah.
What studio?
Couldn't tell you.
Put it out.
Studio Ghibli?
It was definitely not.
It was a Warner Brothers movie. It's part of the Serververse.
Oh, God. I would not be surprised.
They had to cut out that scene where Bugs Bunny wipes the Green Knight's jizz off on him or something, like you were saying.
So, That's a little bit of a spoiler.
Oh God!
Not really.
Please don't spoil the jizz scene.
Don't spoil the jizz scene in my 1,400-year-old Arthurian legend.
You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll jizz.
You'll wipe jizz off on your partner.
I was like, I knew nothing else about the movie, and I was like, the Green Knight, as in like the King Arthur Green Knight story.
I've never even heard of this.
Yeah,
Gawain and the Green Knight.
Yeah, my first exposure to it was when I was a kid. We used to have in elementary school and middle school. We had these reading books that had a bunch of short stories.
Be right. Can I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah.
Let me try and recount what I remember of the Green Knight with my terrible memory.
Okay.
Before you recount it with your actually good story memory.
Okay, go for it.
Gawain and the Green Knight is about Sir Gawain and Sir Lancelot and all his friends. They're chilling out at the hibachi buffet. And just when King Arthur is about to get his second go at the sushi bar, fucking Green Knight shows up and says, Gawain, you look like a biggity bitch. I challenge you to a duel. And Gawain's like, don't insult my honor, but fuck you, let's do it. And then they has a fight, and then the Green Knight's like, Gawain, if you manage to kill me, a good thing will happen. And Gawain's like, that'll be fucking easy, dude. And then Gawain chops his head off, and he's like, I didn't die! And he flaps his arms around, because his beheading didn't kill him. And then Gawain's like, oh no! And he runs away like a little bitch. And then, like the lady of the lake or something shows up and jizzes on him or some shit, and he comes back and he's like, I got a belt to defeat you! And the Gawain and the Green Knight goes, no! Don't give me the belt! No, Daddy! No!
It's Gawain time.
It's
no,
Gawain
Daddy, no.
time! And then the Green Knight goes, flippity gibbet! And he dies, and then Gawain, I don't know, he gets laid again? Oh, shit. That's what I remember of Gawain and the Greeness.
That's not that far off.
Yeah!
My first exposure to Sir Gawain and the Green Knight
when you were a little baby.
I was a little baby boy, and we used to have these reading books in English class. And they
was
were
it a golden book?
No, they were big compendiums.
Wow.
They were our textbook for English class.
Oh.
And I had one of these for every grade from like first grade up through like to the beginning of high school, pretty much. Mm-hmm. Just something the Maryland public school system decided to do. But they would give us these big textbooks that were full of like short stories, plays, or like segments of larger works. And we would get one assigned to you. Like the one that we got assigned to us in class and had to do questions on was really boring and dumb.
No.
So I'd like knock that one out like day one. And usually this would be a thing where like we'd be supposed to read the story over several days in class every day.
Yeah.
So I'd read the dumb one we were supposed to read on day one and do all the fucking questions. And then I'd look for cooler shit elsewhere in the book and read that.
Yeah.
And there was lots of cool shit in those books. There was like Beowulf and Grendel.
Damn.
I read that in there. There was a lot of stories that like To Kill a Mockingbird, like a segment of that. Like they had the audio, like the screenplay of The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street from Twilight Zone in there. They had some cool shit in those books that I wasn't supposed to be reading. I would flip around in those books, and that was how I read Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, because I was like, cool, a thing with knights. I'm going to read that and not the dumb one that we just did, that I just finished. So, it's an Arthurian legend. And then this answered my question, because like all I saw was the movie poster on Reddit for the Green Knight, and I was like, that Green Knight? Yes, that Green Knight.
But
it is a movie based upon the Arthurian legend. In very broad strokes, as broad as Taylor gave, anyhow. Old King Arthur is having a party, and everyone's hanging out.
See, I knew it. I knew they were at the hibachi.
And they're at the hibachi. I believe they're actually at
ye olde hibachi.
That's actually an Olive Garden in the original story. Because when you're there, you're family.
Oh my god!
And
when you're there, you're beheaded, and it doesn't kill you.
Yeah. In walks the Green Knight, who's like, guess what, y'all?
Ultra Chad Green Knight arrives.
Yeah, pretty much. He's like, I'm Ultra Chad Green Knight, and I propose a contest for some reason. one of you duel me in a sort of weird duel where, like, you hit me first, and then, like, a year from now, I'll hit you the exact same way, and, you know, then we'll be like, cool, we did that. And they're like, we're knights. We do quests for a lot dumber reasons than that. Who wants to do it? And Gawain is like, I'll do it. So then he goes over to the Green Knight, and he's like, what's a good way to not have to deal with this guy in a year? I know, I'll cut his head off with my one hit. That's what it is. My one, you get one hit on him. And he's like, I'll just use my one hit to fucking chop his head off and kill him.
That's why the beheading was so important. God.
Yeah. And so he does that, and everyone's like, damn, you straight dropped that fool. Well, I guess that's over with. And then the Green Knight's like, ha ha! And he gets up and he's like, surprise, asshole, I didn't die from that because I'm magic or whatever. I'll see you in a year, Gawain.
So did it just not cut his head off?
No, it cut his head off. He picks his own talking head up and walks out laughing at him with it.
Word?
Yeah. And everyone's like...
He's Christopher Walken.
Yeah. And
from Sleepy Hollow. You fell asleep halfway through that.
No, not even halfway. I fell asleep like 30 minutes
instantaneously.
So then that happens, and then everyone's like, "Sucks to be you, Gawain."
Bye.
And then Gawain goes on a long quest and like goes to he's supposed to meet him at this certain chapel out in the countryside. So Gawain goes there, and along the way he finds a house where he spends a night. A couple things happen to him on the way there. Whatever. And he finds this manor house, and
as many abridged versions of Arthurian Legend goes, and then some shit happened.
Yes, and then some ye old shit happens, and he goes to this manor house, and the lord and lady of the manor house like put him up for 3 nights, because like he arrives early for his contest, and they're like, oh, you know, you're going to meet the Green Knight. He lives like 2 blocks that way, so you're pretty much there. You can chill here if you want until your
he lives 2 blocks.
Your appointment until your friggin' appointment.
He lives down by the bodega.
He lives in a van down by the river.
Is it a green van? No, fuck no.
Why would it be a green van? That doesn't make any sense. What?
Yeah, Gawain's like, what?
That's not a question.
So the lord of the castle is like, I'm gonna go hunting every day, and I'll bring you some shit from the woods, like it's Breath of the Wild or some show or whatever. And Gawain's like, cool. And he's like, meanwhile, hang out at my house with my wife, who's gonna like come on to you several times.
Oh
and
wait, she comes on to him?
Yeah.
Is that where the jizz comes from? She's got a surprise for him?
Yeah, and well, so like she basically comes to Gawain every night, and
she comes.
Yes. Tries to seduce him, and he's like, I'm having none of that because I'm a good boy and whatnot.
I'm gay.
Yeah, and then so finally, like on the 3rd night, she's like, you passed all the challenges of not sleeping with me, I guess. Here's a magical belt that'll protect you from having your head cut off when you face the knight. And he's like, wow, cool, this is a weird quest item.
Is it a belt made of metal and it goes around your neck?
No, it is a regular belt.
That seems like it would be a ring in Dark Souls.
All of these scenes that I'm laying out are expanded upon very broadly in the movie The Green Knight.
Mm-hmm.
And it is like watching, as I said it earlier, it is like watching a Wes Anderson movie in one monitor, playing Dark Souls in your other monitor, while listening to an early Decemberists album, and taking magic mushrooms. That is what watching The Green Knight is like, because...
That sounds like a party. That sounds like a good night. You're kind of selling me on this movie.
It's more like... It's all stuff you like, but it's given to you in such a way that it all makes it very confusing, and a lot at once. It's be like... Do you like all these foods? Yes, I like all those foods. Would you like it if I put them all in a blender and then force-fed them to you?
No!
I might like that less.
Allow me to get the funnel. No!
So, it's sort of like that. It wasn't a bad movie. Your mileage may vary. It's just, it was a weird art film. And I knew it was going to be a weird art film, so I was not surprised when it was a weird art film, but that's what it was. And there is, in the scene where he makes it to the mansion... one of his scenes with the lady, there's some jizz. And I, if you want to watch the movie, I'm not going to say the context of the jizz. But
do they show the jizz?
Yes, they do.
Huh. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like, It's obvious what it is, but it
they had the hair
show.
gel scene in Something About Mary.
Oh yeah, duh.
I mean, it's on par with that. It's
as long as you don't show it coming out of the dick.
Yeah, you don't see it coming out of the dick. She just like messes around with him and then wipes it on him, and he's like, "Ew."
She slaps his dick and he's just like, ugh.
Yeah,
Shakes her hand, it sloughs everywhere.
yeah. So,
Gawain in the green jizz.
Gawain in the green jizz. And
it looks like that glow in the dark goop that you could put to paint stuff with.
Yeah. So that was. Oh, and then like I guess the rule, he goes to face the Green Knight, and this is the story. I'm not going to give away the ending of the movie, but it's all the thing about like, oh look, I didn't kill you with my axe for some reason. What was this supposed to teach us? Who the fuck knows? This is a King Arthur story from now. And they're like, hey, in like 700 years, how they're going to have to do like updated versions of these stories so that they make sense enough to make a Disney movie out of them that people could actually comprehend in the 21st century. Yeah, this is the story before we did that.
Oh.
And it makes batshit fuck all sense.
Ah. Yeah, I love the disjointed nature of myths and stories from that time where like there's a lot of pointless weird shit.
Yeah.
Like, probably made a whole heck of a lot of sense back then for, like, cultural reasons or whatever. Like, it was probably certain aspects would allude to other things of that time.
Yeah, because, like,
specifically that time and specifically the place that it was written or told.
Yeah.
It would probably make a lot of contextual sense to them. But to us, it's fucking nonsense.
So like, why would the Green Knight... do they explain why the Green Knight is immune to decapitation?
So that's the thing. There was a trope in medieval stories called the beheading game.
Uh-huh.
This occurred in a lot of these old stories. This, I challenge you to a hit-for-hit contest, oh, you chop my head off. Like, apparently that was a known trope, and if you were listening to that story back then, you would have been like, oh, it's one of these. And like
it subverts it,
and it would have made sense.
Shit, maybe even back then, like the whole concept of the beheading game is actually just a metaphor for something. Yeah. Back then.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it was just like a popular...
beheaded him, if you know what I mean.
Or not like a double entendre or anything. No, I just mean like maybe it was an idiom or something, or just a reference to, oh, they're playing a beheading game because, obviously the first one who goes wins.
It's like a pissing contest.
Yeah, well, no, it's
not the same thing, but it's another idiom like that.
Yeah, so like back then, it could have been something like that.
Yeah,
but then the story of the Green Knight turns that idiom on its head.
Yeah,
and like, oh, it's a great game to play if you live.
Yeah,
and you're immune to beheading.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. I don't know. Like I said, going back in time, never do it. Because you'd be confused by all the idioms. Jockin will burn you to a crisp. And then he'll be jocking off and Gawain's jizz will come all over you.
I feel like you hear a lot these days about
Gawain's jizz?
Yes, about how like memes of now are incomprehensible.
Yeah.
I
mean, they are for the most part.
Yeah, but I think we've just always been that way. Because what you're telling me, this Green Knight thing sounds fairly mimetic to me.
Yeah.
Oh,
so this is all like a really complicated pre-internet in-joke.
Oh my god! What if
everybody knew about?
What if all the Arthur stories were really like the big popular thing back then, and then somebody made up Gawain and the Green Knight as like a Gen Z meme version?
Yeah.
Of an Arthur story.
Those old timey F's that looked like S's. It's a fit post.
I like fit posts. That's good. That's good. Well, you heard it first, ladies and gentlemen. If you want a good old view into the mind of B-Rye, just look up Gawain and the Green Eggs and Ham, and you're gonna love it.
Sure.
That's the movie. It's called The Green Knight.
Also, there's a weird scene with giants that has not explained.
They're just giants.
They're just giants.
They might be giants.
Did we ever find out if they're giants?
Hadn't been confirmed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has not yet confirmed to be giants.
Jury's still out.
Not yet confirmed to be giants. What day is it?
Tuesday. We always record on Tuesdays.
Oh my god, I forgot.
We've never recorded Frankenstein Control on a day that wasn't a Tuesday.
I forgot I left my bacon in the oven. I'm going to go now. I picked a really bad time to make leave you two to say something in my absence because B-Rice over there fucking chugging his drink like it's fucking Michael Jordan's special water from Space Jam 1 where Bugs Bunny puts the label on. He's like, it's his special stuff.
He's chugging this water like it's the Green Knight's jism.
It's not the Green Knight who jizzes, it's Dwayne.
It's totally the Green Knight. I saw it in its beheading game, which is just a euphemism for blowjobs. I'll suck your dick now, and if you don't die, you gotta suck my dick in a year.
This whole episode's turned into Gawain and the Green Shite.
Why would you die?
Gawain and the Green Shite is the sequel story where he eats a lot of fucking Lucky Charms.
If you... Or in my case, a McDonald's hamburger.
Oh, God.
Good night, everybody.
Now even you know I am a menace. I hand you the secrets to save the entire human race and the entire universe.